What's up, everybody? It's me, Anthony, and it's the time of the week again. It's Anthony's NFL Picks. Week 15. We are now in the 15th week of the NFL, and this season has gone by very quickly, and I keep saying that because it is already. I remember doing this week 1 in September. Now we're in the mid of December now, and now we're in the 15th week of the NFL. And this season's been very weird lately. Everything has been going awkwardly. I thought every team was going to be different, and some were good, some were disappointing. But other than that, I'm very happy for this season. Even though it's coming to an end, the playoffs I'm really looking forward for. I want to see who is going to go to Super Bowl 59, and we'll be getting close to the playoffs, and these videos will be a little bit shorter like they were last season, if you remember me doing this. But anyways, let's jump right in. Let's get things started. But before we start, there'll be no more bye weeks for the rest of the season. So all 32 teams will be playing for every single week now until week 18. And before we also start, like this video, subscribe, turn on the notification bells to get updated on my newest content, and let's jump right in. And we're kicking things off for an NFC West showdown in San Francisco between the 7-6 Rams and the 6-7 49ers. Both teams are coming back from wins. The Rams are here after they beat Buffalo 44-42. Puka Nacua played an amazing game against Buffalo, beating them by 2. That was a really good game. The Rams are a really good team, and, I'm a little bit worried because, my Commanders are 8-5. I really don't want them to fall apart. They're going to be in San Francisco against the beat-up 6-7 49ers who actually demolished the Bears at home 38-13. Don't know how they did that. But I'm going to go with the Rams. The 49ers are just done. The Niners have too many injuries. I don't even know how they beat the Bears, but the Bears are always playing bad on the road. So the 49ers are not going to make the playoffs this season. I think they are going to miss the playoffs. That's why I said in a prediction, I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. Rams will beat the 49ers 30-23. Rams will be 8-6. 49ers will drop to be 6-8. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got my 8-5 Commanders taking on the 5-8 Saints. The Commanders, they're here after coming back from their bye week, and I'm really hoping they make the playoffs this season. We don't have Austin Eckler. We don't have our kicker, which I'm a little bit worried about. I really hope Marshawn Lattimore plays, and if he does play, he's taking on his former team in the Saints. Saints are here after they beat the Giants away in MetLife 14-11 with that last-second missed kick. The Saints are 5-8 under Darren Rizzi as the interim after Dennis Allen got fired after that loss against the Panthers back in November. I'm going to go with the Commanders. I'm really hoping the Commanders win this game because I really want them to go to the playoffs. I don't care if we lose in the wild card. I just love to see my Commanders play. I just love that team, and I've been a Commanders fan since I was 11. I've been a fan when they were even called the Redskins back in 2017. That's when I started to watch football when I was in 7th grade. And I'm really hoping the Commanders win this game. However, the Saints have a lot of injuries. Derek Carr may be out with a hand injury he suffered against the Giants. Either Spencer Rattler or my friend Matt told me Ben DiNucci is going to also, they signed with the Saints or someone else. But I'm going to go with the Commanders, hopefully. Please, Commanders, win this one. Commanders will beat the Saints 24-21. Commanders will be 9-5. Saints will be 5-9. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 12-1 Chiefs and the 3-10 Browns. Chiefs are here after they beat the Chargers 19-17. And fun fact, the Chiefs have won all their games from 2 games in a row. They beat the Raiders 19-17. They beat the Chargers 19-17 on Sunday night. The Chiefs are 5-0 in division, and they won the AFC West. What a surprise. They won again. I'm not even surprised. But anyways, they're going to Cleveland against the 3-10 Browns, who lost to Pittsburgh, causing them to be eliminated from the postseason. They lost 27-13. And the Browns have been really struggling lately. And I think Kansas City's going to whip them, just whoop them, just clap them like that. And Kareem Hunt's actually taking on his former team, fun fact. I think Kansas City's going to beat the Browns. However, the Browns are, Jameis Winston's still a really good quarterback. I think they should keep Jameis Winston because Deshaun Watson is just, I don't like Deshaun Watson. A lot of people hate Deshaun Watson. He's just not a good person and not a great player that much either. He was good last season. However, he suffered that bad injury, and they've just been bad. I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. Kansas City's just really good. Chiefs will beat the Browns 33-27. Chiefs will be 13-1. The Browns will be 3-11. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 5-8 Bengals and the 3-10 Titans. Bengals are here after winning yesterday on Monday night against the Cowboys 27-20 with that whole Simpsons theme on ESPN. It was crazy. The Bengals are getting a little bit better. Joe Burrow's a really good quarterback, even though they're 5-8, even though they don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. And fun fact, 3 teams are left in the hunt still in the AFC. All the other teams were so bad, they're all eliminated. The Dolphins, Colts, and Bengals are still left in the hunt, though. But the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Lions are all clinched into the playoffs and have a shot of going to Super Bowl 59. But to be honest, I'm going to have to go with the Bengals. The Bengals had a little bit of a hard start, and Tyler Boyd on the Titans is actually taking on his former team. And the Titans are here actually after they lost to the Jaguars. They were winning 6-0, and then the fourth quarter, the Jaguars came back and won 10-6. The Titans are just so bad, and that actually costed the Titans to be eliminated from the postseason. They are out. They will not be going to the playoffs this season. And we're going to go with the Bengals. The Bengals are a little bit really upset, and they're going to be away in Tennessee, though, but I still think they're going to beat the Titans. The Titans are not a good team. The Titans are just not good. I think they're either going to get Cam Ward, Quinn Ewers, or might as well either get Shedeur Sanders. I think the Giants may get Shedeur, but I think they could get Jalen Milroe either, but I'm still going to go with Cincinnati. Bengals will beat the Titans 20-10. Bengals will be 6-8. Titans will be 3-11. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 6-7 Dolphins and the 8-5 Texans. The Dolphins are here after that crazy overtime win against the Jets, 32-26. Coming back with Jonnu Smith, that tight end for the Dolphins, got that crazy game-winning touchdown to make the Dolphins still alive in the playoffs. Dolphins, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs because, again, there's the Broncos, the Ravens, the Chargers. They're really good teams. They're going on to Houston against the Texans, who are coming back from their bye week. They're all rested up at 8-5. I think they're going to beat Miami. It's going to be a pretty good game. We got Tua and C.J. Stroud, but I'm going to still go with the Texans. Texans are a really good team. They're all rested up. They look really ready, and if the Texans win and the Colts lose again, the Texans will win the AFC South. The Texans could clinch a playoff berth and an AFC South title for the second consecutive year in a row for the first time since 2018 and 2019. Texans will beat the Dolphins 23-14. Texans will be 9-5. Dolphins will be 6-8. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 8-5 Ravens and the 2-11 Giants. Ravens are here, coming back from their bye week. They're all rested up. Lamar Jackson's ready to roll. They had that little loss against the Eagles back in week 13, 24-19. They're a little bit mad over that. They're going on to MetLife against the Giants, who have not won yet a home game this season. They are 0-7. They're here after that loss against the Saints, 14-11. The Giants missed that last-second kick to tie the game, and the Saints blocked it, and the Giants are just the Giants. The Giants are just not a good team. They're going to be back at home against Baltimore, and I think Baltimore's going to win this game. The Ravens are rested up. Lamar Jackson's ready to roll. I think the Ravens are going to win this game. They're going to beat the Giants down. Ravens will beat the Giants 31-17. Ravens will be 9-5. Giants will be 2-12. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty bad game. This is a tank game against the 3-10 Jets and the 3-10 Jaguars. Jets are here after losing that game in overtime against the Dolphins, 32-26. And the Jets are just so disappointing this season. They're eliminated from postseason, by the way. They are out of the playoffs. But again, the Jets, I thought, were going to be good this year. I thought they were going to be like 8-5 or 10-3 at the highest, and they're 3-10. 3-10. Their last win was on Halloween against the Texans. The Jets are so bad, I swear. Aaron Rodgers going to New York, despite all that talent, they got Devontae Adams, they got Alan Lazard, they got Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner's not that great though this season. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and the Jets are 3-10. 3-10. That is insane. I'm going to go with the Jets on this one. I think they're going to beat Jacksonville because the Jaguars are here after that win against the Titans, 10-6. Even though Mac Jones threw 2 interceptions, he ended up winning the game still. Mac Jones was not good. Mac Jones is not a good quarterback. I'm going to go with the Jets. The Jets will finally get their 4th win of the season, and I think they're going to take down Jacksonville. Jets will beat the Jaguars 29-13. Jets will be 4-10. Jaguars will be 3-11. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 5-8 Cowboys and the 3-10 Panthers. God, these games are bad so far. Anyways, both teams are coming back from losses. Dallas lost yesterday against the Bengals in that close game, 27-20. Jamar Chase is really good with the Cowboys. However, the Cowboys lost Zach Martin for the whole season. He got hurt, and their best player, like one of their linebackers, is out for the season as well with season-ending surgery for the knee, which is not good for them. This is not good either. And I also forgot to mention for the Saints, Derek Carr is out for several weeks with a significant fracture in his left hand, which is not good for the Saints. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The Cowboys have a lot of injuries. And, Cooper Rush played very good still, even though, they were tied at 17. When I went to bed at the end of the third, it was 17-17. And then the Cowboys ended up leading the game. Then they lost to Cincinnati. I don't know if they're going to beat the Panthers. I think they are. The Panthers, they're making a bit of an improvement at 3-10. I don't even know how they're still in the playoff race. They should be eliminated by now. Panthers look really good right now. They almost beat the Eagles 22-16. Bryce Young is making a little bit of change, which isn't bad for the Panthers, but I still think, this is in Carolina. I'm going to still go with the Cowboys. Cowboys will beat the Panthers 24-16. Dallas will be 6-8. Panthers will be 3-11. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty good game. We got the 7-6 Buccaneers and the 8-5 Chargers. Buccaneers, they're here. They're taking on the Chargers, who ended up losing to Kansas City on Sunday night, 19-17, causing the Chiefs to win the AFC West yet again. Chargers are still a really good team, though. They have a very hard schedule, though, but I still think they could beat the Buccaneers. The Chargers are 8-5. They look really good so far. I think they could still keep going. The Buccaneers, I'm not quite sure. The Buccaneers had a very easy schedule. They beat the Raiders, and Buccaneers actually lost one of their players, Antoine Winfrey. He's out for several weeks with a knee sprain, which is not good for Tampa Bay. But I still think the Chargers are going to win this game. It's in LA. They have an advantage, so I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. Chargers will beat the Buccaneers 29-22. Chargers will be 9-5. Buccaneers will drop to be 7-7. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the battle of the horses between the 6-7 Colts and the 8-5 Broncos. Colts, they're here after coming back from their bye week. Both teams are actually back from bye weeks, actually, fun fact. Colts, they look a little bit, better now. They're going on to Mile High Stadium against the 8-5 Broncos, led by Bo Nix. Bo Nix is doing a really good job in Denver. They're 8-5. They have the 7th seed so far. That Broncos team really improved from Russell Wilson. I think Sean Payton just needed a new quarterback, and I think they're thriving now with Bo Nix right now. And he also has, Javonte Williams, and they have so many good weapons. They also have Courtland Sutton. They got Marvin Mims. They have Nick Benito. He's been really good with the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Broncos on this one. Broncos are going to probably clinch a playoff berth eventually because the Colts, I like Anthony Richardson though, but I don't really know if he's going to be capable for the job. Joe Flacco still. But Anthony Richardson's in his second year, and he didn't really do that much because last October of 23, he suffered that AC sprain in his shoulder. But I'm still going to go with Denver on this one. Broncos will beat the Colts 34-19. Broncos will be 9-5. Colts will drop to be 6-8. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 3-10 Patriots and the 6-6 Cardinals. Patriots are coming back from their bye week. They're all rested up. Drake May, he may get somebody in the draft. I think the Patriots may get Travis Hunter. You never know. And also, Mason Graham has also been really good too from Michigan. You never know who's going to go to the Patriots. They're taking on the Cardinals, who lost to Seattle again. They got swept by Seattle this season. They're 6-6. Cardinals, they looked a little bit good. They won 4 straight back in October going into November. And ever since they played Seattle, they've been kind of declining. It's been hard. They had to take on the Vikings. They lost to Seattle, Minnesota, and then Seattle again. It's weird. But anyway, I think they had a hard schedule, but I still think Arizona's going to win this game, and I still think they could have a shot at the playoffs. You never know. Cardinals are a really good team. James Conner was doing really good back in November. You never know, so I'm going to go with Arizona on this one. Patriots are going to be really rebuilding. Gerard Mayo, we don't know what's going to happen to him yet, and Drake May too, and I think he needs to get Travis Hunter. I think New England will get him, or the Jaguars will get Travis Hunter. I don't know, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals. Cardinals will beat the Patriots 28-23. Cardinals will be 7-6. Patriots will be 3-11. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a really good game, and hopefully this could be the Super Bowl actually this season for Super Bowl 59. This team America wants. We got the 10-3 Bills and the 12-1 Lions. This is a good game, and I'm excited for it. Buffalo is coming here after they lost to the Rams 44-42. Josh Allen's still really good, though. However, Puka Nacua was just better for the Rams, even though the Rams were at home. They're going on to Detroit against the Lions, who are 12-1, who have been playing very good, and they actually beat the Packers on Thursday night, 34-31. It's been back and forth, back and forth. I think the Bills are going to win this game. They're a little bit upset about that loss against the Rams. I think the Lions are going to probably lose this game because, again, Buffalo's a really good team. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to, stop them this season. I think Kansas City's going to beat the Bills in the divisional round again because, Kansas City. I'm going to go with Buffalo on this one. Buffalo will beat Detroit, and I think, the Bills will be better. The Lions are long due for a loss. Their last loss was week 2 against the Buccaneers, 20-16. I'm going with Buffalo on this one. Bills will beat the Lions 37-34. Bills will be 11-3. Lions will drop to be 12-2. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the battle of the Pennsylvania teams between the 10-3 Steelers and the 11-2 Eagles. Steelers, they're here after they beat the Browns 27-13. Russell Wilson's doing a really good job in Pittsburgh. And, he didn't do that great in Denver, because, again, Sean Payton and, had to work with Nathaniel Hackett. But he's doing really good, though. And even if Russell Wilson leaves, they have Justin Fields, who did really good before backing up for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is doing a little bit better, and I think he could get comeback player of the year. However, I think Sam Darnold is going to, but this is going to be a really good game. George Pickens is actually going to be out for this game, I think. My friend told me about it. George Pickens is not playing, I don't think. And that's a huge disadvantage because the Eagles are here after winning their 9th straight game. They beat the Panthers, even though that was an ugly win. I don't know if the Eagles are for real. I think the NFC Championship game will be the Lions and the Eagles. You never know. I'm going to go with the Eagles. They're in Philadelphia. They look strong. I'm going to go with them. Eagles will beat the Steelers in the battle of the Pennsylvania teams 35-32. Eagles will win their 10th straight game and be at 12-2. And the Steelers will be 10-4. We move on with the next game. Coming up with our next game for Sunday Night Football, we got a pretty good game between the 9-4 Packers and the 8-5 Seahawks. Packers are here after playing that close game against the Lions. Ended up losing the game. And I told you the Packers were going to lose that game. The Lions were a better team. And to anybody who said that, I agree. But one of my viewers, shout out to him, JC Schreider at 392. If you're watching this, Packers, I don't know if they're for real or if they're frauds because, again, the Packers, I don't really know. But I still think they're going to beat Seattle, but the Seahawks won 4 straight games. They've been really hot lately. Geno Smith still has some gas in his tank. It's in Seattle, but I still think the Packers are going to win this game. Don't worry, Packer fans out there. All right, Packers could still win. I'm going to go Green Bay because, again, you never know. But I'm a little worried about the Seahawks too because you never know, they can make some noise. But I'm still going to go with Green Bay. Packers will beat the Seahawks 21-13. Packers will be 10-4. Seahawks will be 8-6. We move on with the next games. And coming up next for Monday Night Football, we got 2 games actually. We got 2 Monday night games. Our first one's an NFC North team matchup between the 4-9 Bears and the 11-2 Vikings. Bears are here after completely getting demolished against the 49ers, 38-13. The Bears are winless on the road this season. They have not won a home game whatsoever, road game whatsoever. They've been so bad. The Bears were 4-2, and ever since their bye week, they have lost all their games. They're 4-9. They have a hard schedule coming up. They fired Matty Eberflus the day after Thanksgiving, after they lost to the Lions on Thanksgiving, which is not good. I know Caleb Williams is really trying his hardest, but I'm going to still go with Minnesota. The Vikings are 11-2. They played very good against the Falcons, smacking them 42-21. Kirk Cousins threw for about 2 interceptions that game. He threw for 8 interceptions altogether these last 2 games. He's just been so bad. And that Michael Penix trade may not be bad after all. And I'm still going to go with the Vikings on this one. The Vikings are a very good team. I think they could possibly clinch a wild card spot or even win a playoff game. Who knows? I'm going to still go with Minnesota. Sam Darnold's been really good. Justin Jefferson's been really good. He broke a record. Justin Jefferson's amazing. I'm going to go with Minnesota. It's in Minnesota, so it's going to be them. Vikings will beat the Bears 31-20. Vikings will be 12-2. The Bears will be 4-10. We move on to the next game. And last but not least for this week, we got the 6-7 Falcons and the 2-11 Raiders. Falcons are here. Both teams are coming back from losses. The Falcons are here after they lost again to the Vikings, Kirk Cousins couldn't get the job done against his former team. They completely lost the game, and the Vikings just ended up dropping 42 points against them. They should start Michael Penix, to be honest. They're just not a good team anymore. The Falcons were 6-3, and now they're 6-7, losing 4 straight games. This is very bad. And I'm going to have to go with them. I think they're going to finally end their losing streak because the Raiders are here after they lost again to the Buccaneers. They're 2-11 now. I don't know if Antonio Pierce is going to keep his job. And Gaden O'Connell just suffered a pretty bad injury, which could cost them. And Desmond Ridder may be starting. So, oh boy, Raiders. I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one. Falcons are a better team. I think they're going to finally get back to where they were. And I think they could start Penix in the future because, again, Kirk Cousins is old. Falcons will beat the Raiders 24-17. And that is it for this week, everybody. These are all my picks for Week 15. Tune in next week for Anthony's NFL Picks Week 16, which will be premiering next Tuesday, December 17th. This is Anthony signing off, and have a great week.